Hello and welcome. Welcome all. Thank you for being here. And thank you for always sharing the Conversations with Carroll podcast with others so that we can grow, share more stories, connect more, provide more hope in this world. I know a lot of people say, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen for each of us is what we decide is going to happen for each of us. So thank you for being here in order to make an amazing positive impact. And that's what we can do, right? We do what we can do. So thank you for being here. I'm so excited to introduce you all to the lovely Bonnie Harris. Bonnie and I have gotten to know each other this year and have shared a couple of stages together, a couple of wonderful trips. We're in an incredible community of women doing just this, trying to share stories and provide more love and light and hope. And Bonnie has done that through her life and in her day to day. So I'm so excited for her to share with all of us a little bit of her life and her love and her journey. And of course, as always, all the ways to follow her, to get in touch with her. The team will make sure all those links are available in all the places. So we'll do that then. In the meantime, thank you, Father, for the day. Thank y'all for being here. And here we go. Bonnie, how are you?
I am successful. How are you?
Y'all, pre-show, Bonnie and I visited, and she heard somebody answer, "How are you doing?" with, "I'm successful. How are you?" And she's decided to embrace it. I love it so much, Bonnie, because you are so successful.
Well, absolutely. And you know what? I've learned we have to be our own cheerleader. Like, we can't wait for other people to
Yeah.
cheer for us. We are our first cheerleader. We have to be our own advocate in so many things in life. And, you have to shout yourself out and don't,
Ah,
it's not being, conceited or, oh, look at me. It's like, no, I am a gift. We all are precious gifts and we have gifts inside of us. And so I feel when you can shift that mindset to say, hi, I am successful. How are you? It's like you're just putting it out there. And you have to trust that it is going to happen, regardless if you're successful yet or not. You just have to remember it's coming.
well, and there are a lot of ways to define success, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's right. And I do believe, I love that you said you've got to put it out there and you've got to be your own cheerleader. Um, we tell our kiddos, and anytime we're talking with other people, and they're like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I should reach out. I don't know what I should do. We're very quick to encourage others to step into their gifts and grow their gifts. And it's okay. It's their gifts. They were given to us by God. This is not like, look at who I am. It is by the grace of God, I have this gift and I actually have a responsibility to grow it and to put
Yes.
it out there. And so, you kind of have to walk the talk, right?
Yeah, you really do. And I'm glad that you pointed that out because it really is our responsibility. God doesn't want us to be lazy. God, God has given us everything that we need to be like successful in whatever that looks like. Successful in love, successful in, wealth, successful in your career, successful in relationships, whatever that is, you have the tools inside of you. They're already there, but you have to get up and get out and develop them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's one thing to say, thank you, Father, for the gifts. It's yet another thing to say, thank you, Father, for the gifts, and please help me grow these gifts. Give me
Yes.
the strength to call Bonnie and say, hey, let's talk about something that I know you're really good at, and I'd love your advice. It's just those little steps, one step at a time. I just love it. And I know the audience will appreciate so much when we talk about being our own cheerleader, I want to back up a little bit into your story
Mhm.
that I have the opportunity to know some of that. And you also, in other ways, we have to be, let's say, our own advocates
Yes.
in the manner. We'll just start with your incredible health journey and just you knew something was up. You went, doctor said, no big deal. This is fine. And you had to be your own, you had to fight for them
Yeah.
to listen, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Tell the audience a little bit about that because it's incredibly empowering moment in your life.
Yes. So thank you. Yeah, it was a very eye-opening. And first of all, I want to say I love doctors. I love surgeons. God bless them. They are amazing, but they're also human and they make mistakes.
That's right.
So I'm not here, I'm not here to, bash any doctors or anything like that. I'm here to make you aware that sometimes they make mistakes and you have to stand up, speak up, be your own advocate. If something doesn't feel right, you have to stand up and say. So what happened is I had gone to the doctors. I felt a lump in my chest, like between my rib cages. It's kind of a weird area. It's right below my bra. And I felt like a little hard knot. And I thought, what is that? Well, when I pressed on it, it really hurt. I went to the doctors. She thought, oh, everything's fine. You just need to take some Prilosec. It's indigestion. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why would indigestion feel like there's a lot, knot? She's my doctor, right? I love her. I trust her. I believed her. And so I went home and took Prilosec. It didn't seem to do anything. And I came back and said, you know what? I don't think it's working. We had a little, discussion, right? Because she is the expert and she was trying to say that, no, you need to take a Prilosec. Well,
Right.
long story short, it was actually the beginning of liver cancer.
My God Almighty.
We were shocked. Um, and if it wasn't for myself persisting to get a second opinion, I may not be here today. So thank God the physician's assistant did listen. She came in, she examined me. She said, that doesn't feel right. I feel something inside you. I don't think that belongs. Let's have some more tests done. Now, this was going very, very fast. It grew from a little pebble to a football in 7 months. And the really difficult part about that is by the time they finally said, okay, this is something serious, we need to look further into this, we had the biopsies and all that, but they said, we're sorry, it's too late. It's too aggressive, and now there's nothing we can do about it.
And once again, you decided, no, we're going to do something about it.
Yeah, I literally heard them say, only 2% survive liver cancer at this stage. And I said, well, guess what? I'm the other 2%. I don't care what your statistics say, with all due respect, I'm going to beat this. My family does not work without me. I have a 6-year old, I have an 11-year-old, and my husband and I are madly in love. And I have to, I have to beat this. So I said, I don't care if chemo radiation doesn't work. That's fine. Cut it out. Let's get to it. Let's cut it out. And we did. And I'm here. I'm so grateful. But I also have to say, like that next day when I woke up and the surgeon came in to check on me, I was so grateful. I was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for saving me. He said, you know what? You're welcome, but I can't take all the credit. God saved you and your will to live saved you.
Mm-hmm.
He actually shared with me that I died several times on the operating table. And because I had a strong will, I kept coming back. So this is why I want to share with people. And I promised God, I said, if you help me through this, if If I survive, if you save me and I survive, I promise the world's going to know. The world's going to know that it was you.
It's so incredible. And I know the audiences too are so grateful that you are here to tell this story. A couple of questions. How long ago was that?
15 years ago.
15 years ago. Amazing, right? And just
Yeah.
thank you, Father. I think that uh maybe some of the audience, and I know it always crosses my mind because this is a miraculous story, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, I think of others that I don't have an opportunity to visit with because that was not the answer to the prayer.
Right.
And I think so often that, it's so mysterious,
Hmm.
such mystery. The yeses, the nos, the not right nows, this timing, and again, thank God his thoughts and his ways are not like ours. Thank God you know,
Right.
however, it's such an incredible story. And the bottom line is you decided to lean into, I'm not going to accept this answer today.
Right.
We're going to do some other stuff, whether you think it's going to work or not.
Mhm.
And, I guess what we'll do is we'll save the conversation and have these conversations with others that I'm so humbled have, reached out to have conversations that didn't have that answer
Right.
for our loved ones, because it does happen. As for today, audience and Bonnie, we're going to focus on this incredible, resounding yes and move from Bonnie's her love of life, her appreciation of being here, this miraculous story, amazing healing. I would think probably brought quite a few of that healing team to God. And
Hmm.
I so appreciate, I too am so grateful for doctors and nurses and anyone in the, you know, health field at all, right? Their brilliance, etc. Um, but I think so often they see these miracles happen and they get introduced to God through people with faith like yours. So I want to thank you for that part of the story too. So now here
Absolutely.
we go. And we're going to fast forward a little bit. You had these two kiddos who are now grown because they were 6 and 11, I believe.
Right.
And your husband, I just saw a picture of the two of y'all doing something fun together. Um, and you then recovered, decided to take, I mean, as much of this life as you can to grow it, to share. You became an amazing entrepreneur because you wanted to have a lifestyle with kiddos that, because of course, as entrepreneurs, we work more crazy hours, wild hours. However, we can work them around the crazy life, right?
Yeah, the trade-off is so worth it.
Oh gosh. And you decided to do that. Now, for y'all, I have to tell you, audience, Bonnie, I know her nickname is the hair lady. We're going to move into how she became the hair lady. And if you're listening to us, just so you know, her hair is very smooth and lovely. Mine is, of course, quite wild. She probably needs to help me. But how did you become the hair lady? And at what point? So we're 15 years on this side into your beautiful recovery. What year did you say, okay, you know what? Now I'm going to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, it had to do a lot with surviving cancer. When I went back and talked to the doctors and I asked them about, okay, surprise, shocker, I made it. What do I do now? Do I need to change my eating? Like, what do I do? And they said, well, you actually, you're not a heavy drinker, hardly ever drink. Probably if I open up a bottle of wine, it goes bad before I ever finish it. He goes, you don't have to change your diet. You don't have to change your drinking, your lifestyle, physical uh, exercise. I was really good. He said, what you need to change is toxic environment. And I said, what does that mean? He said, well, first of all, I owned an aerospace welding company. So I was around toxic, right? But he said, Bonnie, your skin is the largest organ on your body. What you put on it, it absorbs into your bloodstream within 26 seconds. I said, oh, I did not know that. And he said, now, because they took away 85% of your liver, there's only 15% left. You need to switch to clean living, meaning anything that touches your skin, soap, shampoo, conditioners, styling products, deodorant, anything that touches your skin. And so for me, I needed to look for a way to change careers, right? He's like, you're done with welding. You're going to have to move out of welding. So I need to find a way to have clean products, but also generate an income. And so without having any background in sales at all, I decided, why not? Give it a try. I have to switch to clean living. I might as well learn how to help others, share my story, and make an income and have the lifestyle that I was used to. Like, I love being an entrepreneur. Yes, it's long hours. Yes, it's hard work. But like Carroll was saying, you get to decide when you work. You get to decide how much money you want to make. You get to decide if you want to take off in the middle of a Tuesday to go visit, your child or your mother or whatever. Like, you get to decide. And it's the best thing ever, ever.
So you leave this job, which first of all, we're going to have a whole different conversation about welding.
Yeah.
But the whole different conversation, right? But very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. I'm not sure how you got there, and I wish we had time to talk about it, but we're definitely going to have that conversation. And you started researching healthy products and you thought, okay, I'm going to find something that I need,
Mm-hmm.
use it, take people on this journey with me, educate them as I become educated,
Right.
and see what happens. So, how did you find, and when did you make that? When did you find the company that you chose?
8 years ago. And what happened was, it was actually my niece. She had called me. I had been praying. Okay, first of all, when you're an entrepreneur and you own your own business, you get paid last. Everybody thinks, oh, you own your own business, you make so much
Yes,
money.
yes,
No, that's not usually true. You have to pay, I had a company, so I had to pay for materials, rent, all the utilities, all the certifications, all the insurance, like so much stuff, right? I had to be the creator. I had to figure everything out. I had to go out and quote stuff. I had to go ship stuff. Like, it's a lot. And then whatever's left over, I pay myself. So first of all, that, right? I was looking for a new career. Um, I was looking to make some money. I was looking for clean products. And I'm just being honest, you guys. I got down on my knees and prayed for 3 weeks straight. I just prayed. I just said, God, you need to just drop something in my lap, because I obviously don't know what I'm doing. I, I need to find another career. I have been on my own for so long. I did not want to get another job. And
right.
nothing against having a regular job. That's how I became an aerospace welding owner. I started out as an employee. So, I'm so grateful that right out of high school with no college education, I landed a good job. I worked my way up the ladder. I learned everything there was about business. I took that information and started my own business. Well, now I got to start over again. So I had to make that decision. Am I going to start over and work for somebody else at the bottom, or am I going to start over and work my way up for me? I'm going to count on me. I'm going to bet on me. And so when my niece introduced me to these products, she literally said, it's really fun, you guys. It's called a wash and wine party. Of course, I didn't do the wine part, but she said, Aunt Bonnie, come on over. I'm going to shampoo your hair. You can have a sip of wine, and I'm going to show you what these products do. Well, when I went there and saw all these dozens of women with all different ethnic hair, like from every country you can possibly imagine, there was curly coiled hair, frizzy hair, curly hair, straight hair, blonde hair, silver hair, short hair, like every type of hair. And from one brand, every single person had a hair transformation right in front of my eyes. I was
Wow.
like, what is happening? This girl that came in with thin, fine, flat hair, after one wash, her hair had volume. This one girl had this like crazy, frizzy, wiry hair. Now it's smooth and sleek, like she just had a Brazilian blowout. What is happening? This lady that had super tight, coiled hair, now her curls were just ringlet and shiny and beautiful. Blondes, girls that had blonde cotton candy hair, it looked like it was just going to break off, was shiny and bouncy. I was like, what is happening? And I'll be honest with you, Carol, I could not stop talking about that shampoo for weeks. And then
You
it came.
go. Now, wait a minute,
Yeah.
Monica, and thank you for letting me interrupt. You go to
Yeah.
this party not thinking this is going to be your job.
Oh, no, not at
You
all. I
go
was
to this
my
party
niece.
because your niece invited you
Hmm.
and you thought this is incredible. So you bought some products. But before I have to confirm, I know the audience is wondering, you chose to go because she must have said these are natural chemical free products because that's what
They're
you're looking for.
right. They're vegan and they're naturally based. I learned there's a difference between naturally based and all natural. All natural means there's no preservatives and they have to be kept in the refrigerator. And keeping shampoo in the refrigerator would be weird, right? So these products do have preservatives, but they're non-toxic. So they're cleaner, right? They're a
And so
clean
you
product.
said, okay, I'll come. Did they wash
Yeah,
your hair while you were at this one
they
fun?
did they did wash my hair, and I'll be honest, I did not buy the products. I did not. I did not like how they felt on me. But I think it's because I was number 11 and I literally think they were just tired and they didn't wash my hair. They didn't rinse my hair out because when I got home, I tell my husband, I don't know about this shampoo. It feels weird. I got in the shower and I had all this suds. I was like, oh, they didn't rinse me. But it was the next day when I was like, my hair is manageable. It's shiny. It feels clean because I was an everyday washer. Then day two, same. Day three, same. By day four, I am literally running up and down the hallway screaming, I can't believe my hair. Look at this, honey. I kept telling my husband, look at this. Look at this hair. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I haven't even brushed it yet. And I was like, I know this is kind of weird. This is like really personal, but I was like rubbing my scalp and then sniffing it. And I was like, why does my scalp still smell amazing? Like it's so clean. It was hilarious. My husband was like, I have never seen anybody get so excited over shampoo.
Oh,
He's like,
he
I've
must.
never seen you get this passionate. He goes, I've seen you be an entrepreneur for 17 years. You've never been this passionate. Why don't you just sell it? So it was my husband that actually told me to do it.
I love it. And so you started doing that 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So from recovery, 15 years, that 7 years prior to finding it, was that you were home taking care of yourself, figuring things out? Did you still do a little bit of work? You know,
Yeah, because even though I was cancer free, they saw a spot. And
sure.
so I was still getting MRIs every 6 months for those 7 years.
So you continued this journey, this healing journey,
Yeah.
which again, thank you, Father. And and you were praying, something you said earlier, you said, I prayed for 3 weeks straight. And I kind of giggled to myself because basically, if I'm not on one of these recordings or doing so, I'm constantly in prayer, if that sounds crazy, conversations with God, if you will, because if not, I am, I'm not good with on my own. I have to have him present. So And my guess is it was just so intense for that 3 weeks, but sounds like you're in constant communication with God.
Yeah, I am. And, to back up, just to let you know too, because yeah, it is kind of odd that I had this long stretch.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. I had survivor guilt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
Yeah.
had survivor guilt.
Yeah.
And I was starting to suffer a little depression. I was like, why me? Why did I get saved when so many of my friends and family have not survived? What makes me so special? Like, I didn't feel worthy. I was really down on myself and I was going into a really dark place.
Wow. Again,
Yeah.
my God, it's funny. We're going to have so many conversations, but as we touched on that a tiny bit earlier, the mystery of it all is so the living with the why. My one of my dad's sisters, wonderful sister, Aunt Mary, Sister Davidica, she used to say, I'd say, what about faith, Aunt Mary? She became a nun when she was 16, and my dad tried to talk her out of it. Just a little fun side note. And she said, it's living with the wise and believing anyway.
Yep.
And anyway, that's a whole different conversation that I can't even. Yeah, I'm so sad we don't have time today.
That's
But
okay.
I appreciate that, and I know the audience appreciates you sharing that you were in this strange place.
Yeah.
And this wasn't an overnight, oh yay, me.
No, and it was really
Rather,
hard.
that constant struggle of all the incredible questions. I mean, unbelievable. Anyway, I cannot imagine. Thank you so much for that.
You're
And so
welcome.
we're going to go ahead and fast forward. I know the audience wants to hear a little bit more. So you get there, your husband tells you you need to sell this. So one of the things you would ask God, basically, as you told us, you said, please make this clear because I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with any of this information. So
Yep.
you go, don't like it, went to be nice, didn't even like it, wake up 4 days later, your husband's like, okay, why don't you sell that? That's first of all, that's incredible. And this was 8 years ago, and
Hmm.
you have been selling
Hmm.
that product ever since. And I know
Yep.
because since we've gotten to know each other, I know that you've won awards and you do all the things and you're such a dear friend and you travel with your company and you have an amazing team and all the things. Oh, and by the way, let's just say the scary words for people, network marketing.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I mean, I shouldn't be guessing. That is correct. That is what
Yeah.
yeah. And I am going to tell you there's something you said up front, a few things. Number one, you were so enthusiastic. Your husband's like, we'll do this. Number
Hmm.
two is you just took people on this journey. And that's really all that is.
Yeah.
And in that industry, and in every other industry, in every faith, in every call, there's always, I call it the 80-20 rule. There's going to be this 20% of horrific junk.
Hmm.
And we can focus on that, or we can go back to your words. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And you just dove in with enthusiasm, not knowing anything, say, okay, this is what I'm learning today. And that has been how you have built your beautiful business, correct?
Yes. And I love to teach people that you can do what you're doing and do this. I never tell people to quit their job. I didn't quit my job. I stayed with my welding company for many years while I was building this. And so this is why I love to talk to all different women, but especially corporate women like me, because I know what they're going through. I know they're stressed out. I know they're long hours and all that. But I also know that I can help them to scale a business while they have their corporate job. Like it's possible. And you don't have to be a big influencer. I didn't even have Instagram when I started. I had less than 200 followers on Facebook. And now look, I've gone to the Oscars, the Emmys. I mean, I've been sponsoring. I've been on leadership boards. I've earned trips. I've gone all over the world. Like, it is wild. It is wild. So I love network marketing. I didn't really know much about it, but what I love about it is that it's very simple and you're on a level playing field. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have experience or not. It doesn't matter if you have influence or not. None of that matters. We all start out at a level playing field, and anyone can be successful if they follow the system and they trust the process and they don't get just addicted to the results. Because when you're an employer or an employee, excuse me, when you're an employee, you go in, you clock in, you do your job, you get paid. Okay, you work, you get paid. You work, you get paid. That's how it works. When you're an entrepreneur, it's not how that works. You work, you don't get paid. You work, you don't get paid. And then you work, you get paid. You work, you get paid. And then after time, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid. So if you can hang on to that vision and trust the process, trust yourself, trust the process, success will be inevitable if you keep showing up and doing the work.
I love that. Show up and do the work. My mom used to, if people were home on the weekend, she'd say, everybody get up, put on a suit and go to a job. She liked people to be working with, or get us out of the house at least. But here is the thing. Trust the process, get up, go to work, be consistent. And I'm going to back up to the number one thing that I believe, and your husband saw it. You were so excited about the product. So I think if in sales, I think if you're selling something and you don't believe in it, forget about it.
Right.
Forget about it. Number one,
Yeah.
you're not going to love it. You're going to become resentful, all the things. But I love that. And I think so often, and justifiably so,
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. I'm going to wait till this. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want, I know the audience is thinking, there are many of the audience members are thinking this, and that is, you just did it. You did it while, and you know what? You got your, and you did it not knowing anything other than this worked, you loved it, and you were going to tell people about it and see how it went.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like you have to make a decision, you have to commit to the process, and you have to go all in, and you have to discipline yourself. And if you do all that, it's going to, like I said, success is inevitable. However, if you don't do that, if you don't commit, if you don't become obsessed, if you don't have the passion, then what's the worst that can happen? Just go back to what you were doing. It's
Right?
not a big deal. Like, I want women to become their own CEOs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's less than 3% of the global population of women CEOs. I want women to be CEOs. My passion is to help women step out of their comfort zone and become the best version that they can, because I really believe this world, nothing against men, I love men. I have two boys that I absolutely cherish, and I, love my husband dearly. We've been together for 35 years.
Wonderful.
But I really truly believe we would be in a lot better position if we had more women leaders, more women CEOs, more women stepping up and leading, because women are so much more capable than they realize.
I love that. And I was going to get you to give us some closing thoughts, but you did that naturally because of your, what you hope for women and what your passion is and your mission to help women achieve so much. And, thankfully, so much has changed already. And yes, it just needs to change more and more. In my mind, I hope it changes more and more so people are a little more relaxed about it. And it's just a natural state of mind for women, right? If they
Exactly.
have a dream, 100%, I think that it does seem these young women are stepping into power that, I mean, Who knew it was going to be possible? And I'm so,
Exactly.
so
But
proud.
also, don't let anybody tell you that it's too late for you or you're too old.
Oh,
I started over at 52. I started my network marketing business at 52 years old, and I didn't know what I was doing. And since then, you guys, can I show my book? Am I allowed to do that?
yeah, absolutely.
I became a best-selling author. This is, I mean, it talks about starting over and sharing, how to do it, and that anybody can do it, and that we all go through obstacles. And it's just, you always want, we all go through trauma, we all go through our obstacles, we all go through hardships, but people want to see the upswing. They want to see you overcoming those obstacles, getting through those hardships, and sharing how did you do it. Because I don't care where you are in life right now, somebody has it worse off than you. And so by sharing your story and explaining how you got through it, you're really helping somebody else, because God doesn't wake you up today just to be waking you up. God woke you up to help the next person.
Mm, mm. You and I are in complete agreement about that. The underlying purpose that we all have is to help one another. Oh, Bonnie, we have so many more things to talk about and to go deeper into this conversation. I wish there was more time. Hold your book up again. And if it'll that too, the link to be able to get that to Unstoppable.
I was
Uh,
going to say, can I give an autograph copy away to someone?
oh my goodness.
How does that work? Oh, I'm trying to
Of
hold it.
course.
Yeah.
You're just gonna, I'll get, let's see. Why don't we do this? Audience, text, message, email the word unstoppable, and someone from the team will draw your name and get with Bonnie and and you'll get yourselves an autographed copy. And I can't believe it. My book, again, I'm in a little bit of disarray in the studio. Um, however, I want to close with thank you. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for your yeses, for being such an example of stepping out there, being your own cheerleader, being your own advocate, sharing your story, helping people see they can get through things on all the levels. Thank you so much. And I know the audience just appreciates everything that you've shared today. Hopefully we'll get to have another conversation and get caught up again. And audience, thank you so much, as always, for being here. Thank you, Father. Welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful.